Hi everyone, welcome back to my Diary of Dabbles. My name is Sarah and I'm so glad that you clicked on this video. So in front of me we have the stack of planners and journals that I've used in 2025, and I was thinking we could just walk through them together. So a planner and journal tour, if you will. So if you like talking about paper goods, all things stationery, or just curious about what it is I've done with all of these journals, I hope you stick around. So I think what would make the most sense is if we start off with the ones that I started the year off with. I got the Passion Planner as my planner for 2025. I was trying to think about this. I don't know how I really came across it. I remember looking up videos probably on YouTube about like planner reviews, and it came up, which isn't super shocking because the Passion Planner has been around for a while and it's a fan favorite, and a fan favorite for very good reasons. I really liked this planner. However, I'm not taking it into 2026 with me. It served me well, but I just don't need it for the season of life that I'm in right now. So I would say this is a really good planner for students, for anyone working part-time or full-time, as well as those that are self-employed. That was kind of the camp I was in for a while. I was a copywriter, or I am a copywriter, but I'm no longer taking on any new clients. And so I just don't need the work part of this planner. But like I said, it was a good planner and I did enjoy it. So I can do a little flip through. I don't know that I'll do a full in-depth review. There's many other creators on YouTube that have done fantastic flip throughs and reviews, and I'll leave that to them. But I got this beautiful yellow print with the sunflower, and the quote is what got me. Every flower must grow through the dirt, grow within, go outside, and look inside. I just thought that was so pretty. And then it says, trust the seeds you are planting on the back. Now, I didn't know, I mean, obviously you want to be growing every year, but I didn't know how much I would be growing this year. And so looking back on this, it's so fitting. Yeah, I am a little sad that this pen mark happened. It happened like a couple months ago, and so I made it through the whole year almost without a marking. But anyways, all right, so this is the front inside pages, and this was totally blank for a while. I think it was back in August is whenever I came, probably a little bit before then, maybe, I don't know, maybe June, but definitely August. I fell into the planner and journaling community on YouTube, and I was totally inspired. I wanted all of the stickers, all of the washi. I wanted to get so creative with my journal and planners because I was looking at all of these beautiful spreads. And so I adopted the mindset of I'm just going to use what I have. So I had these two stickers from the Passion Planner. It came with my purchase. So I just put them down. And then these three actually came from a pack of like screen protectors that I bought for my phone off of Amazon. Just stuck them down because they are cute and I had them. This came from a magazine subscription, and then these were some magazine cutouts, which you'll see that a lot in this planner as well as other journals. There was a lot of collaging with magazine clippings, and it was great because they were free. I got them from my library. They were recycling them, and yeah, I gave them new life. But the good thing about the Passion Planner is that it comes with all these extra pages. So you can really sit down and think through what you want your year to look like, which is a great thing to have. I had this vision board in a different binder, and I just ended up cutting it out and pasting it in here. These are notes from my husband that were just sitting in a drawer, and I was thinking, why not just put them in here so I can look back at them at a later date. Okay. The habit tracker. So I had really good intentions with using this, and I had a couple of good months, but this did not work for me. I rarely came back to the front, and yeah, it did not work for me, but it's great to have for some people. Some people really enjoy tracking. As you can see, I didn't even use this page, but this would be great for your quarterly goals if you wanted to maybe highlight the days that you wanted to accomplish said goal, things like that. I guess in January, I just wasn't in the mindset to use this yet because this was blank up until like a couple weeks ago. My daughter decided to scribble in this, and that's fine. But yes, so this is what's great about the Passion Planner, in my opinion, is that it has a breakdown for personal projects and work projects. And then on the weekly spreads, it gives you like a personal to-do list and a work to-do list. So you can write out your to-do lists, your projects with, due dates on the side. They give you this blank section to just mark it up however you need to. And so again, it has a lot of great features. I didn't use a lot of them. And I don't foresee myself needing it. This was totally blank until probably August, and I got the itch to get creative. And so I just made this healthy habits collage. It was a lot of fun. So here we have where I did some planning, but then I went back at a later date and added in some clippings, some magazine clippings, some stickers, things of that nature. My kiddos have birthdays on this week, and so I had some old stickers lying around and just used them. So again, that was the motto of just using what we had. These stickers came from a sticker pack from Cultivate What Matters. They were beautiful. They're beautiful flowers and quotes that I really enjoyed. Okay, then they have these monthly reflection pages, which mine is blank here, but I did do some, like, let's see, I think March's is complete. Okay, so there were some that I actually did complete. But anyways, while I didn't always complete it, I love the intention behind it. And in one of my journals, I do a monthly recap, and that's definitely something I want to continue in my journals for 2026. This one, I like how it asks you, like, what's your biggest lessons you've learned? What were you grateful for this past month? What can you improve on? I mean, that's nice, but not something that I want to necessarily always reflect on. I like reflecting or recapping the month of like what happened, what big moments do I want to remember, maybe what books I read, things like that, that kind of just takes a screenshot or a snapshot of where we're at in that month, so that when you reflect later, you can see what was going on. So anyways, that is pretty much the Passion Planner. It was a great way, like I said, for me to just test out different things, use the stickers that I did have. I tried out different like habit trackers. I did different things of like scratching out when things happened or just writing them down. Started tracking my books in here. So it was great. It was great to have as a playground. There was a lot of space to try things out, which I'm really excited for, or I was really excited for. Okay, so then we get to the back, and they give you a few pages back here. So I use this as my book log. I was having a lot of fun with it until I hit a reading slump in October, and I really never picked back up. I'm giving myself a lot of grace because life has been crazy, but yeah, so they give you extra pages in the back to be used however you want. I did more collaging back here. I just loved these pictures, and maybe someday my house will look like this. Maybe it won't, but they're pretty to look at. This was a list of paint colors that I liked. I think I got them from like a magazine, as well as like things I've saved on Pinterest. This is the color that we actually painted the inside of our house, so I wanted to remember that one. These were stickers that actually came with the Passion Planner, but they unfortunately were not cut properly, so I couldn't really use them. So I just stuck them in the back. And then I cut out the other pages because I did a pen test and it looked crazy. So I just cut it out. The other thing I liked about the Passion Planner was that they gave you this pocket so you could put your stickers as well as like anything else. I kept some extra notes back here. So you have storage on the go with you. And then of course it comes with the elastic closure. The monthly tabs I did purchase from the site, but as you can see, they kind of started fraying. So I don't know. I'm not buying monthly tabs again. I enjoyed it, but whenever you have these little tabs, it wasn't super necessary. So anyways, that's the Passion Planner. A great product, but not something I'm bringing into 2026 with me. So again, trying to go in the order of things as they happen throughout the year, I got this notebook from Walmart and I used it for my morning pages. Now, I have not read the book, The Artist's Way, yet, but I have heard about morning pages and I kind of just implemented them on my own. This is actually, is this my first? Yes, this is my first edition. And what I liked, I'll show you a blank page. Oh wait, well there's not a blank page because this one's full. What I liked about this is that it gives you like the day that you can, the month and the day that you can circle in for yourself. And it was a great size and great thickness of paper. And so this was my first one that I filled up. It was January to September, with only a few days missing, honestly. I think there was like a couple of weeks that I didn't journal in here or do my morning pages. And I didn't always do 3 pages a day, I should say 2. I'm trying to see, I think this is a 200-page book. But anyways, it's great. I have another one. I kind of did morning pages for a while, but then I've stopped just because I'm doing other journaling practices at the moment and something had to give. And so I will come back to it because I did really like it. But yeah, I just got this notebook from Walmart and would highly recommend. Technically, I have a blank one, so it will be coming into 2026 with me, but currently not doing morning pages at the moment. All right, so I also got from that same, we'll do Walmart while we're here. I picked up these 2 notebooks and used them in various ways. So this one, this Notes and Plans, was truly just a scratch pad. Anytime I was like on a phone call or just needed a piece of paper, I went to here. It's nice that it has this ribbon. I can hold my place. But as you can see, I still have quite a few papers. So this is coming into 2026 with me as just a scratch pad. Again, it came from Walmart and it's, I think this like imitation leather, I think is what it is. I don't know. Pen+Gear is the brand. Pen+Gear is also the brand of this noteworthy one, if you were curious. Then I got this pocket notebook and I truthfully had no plans for it, but it was too cute to pass up. And so for a while I used it as like a food log, but that didn't work. And so I ripped out the pages and created a little book of lists. And this is like anytime I just wanted to brainstorm. So like I wrote out the journals that I had in 2025. I wrote out the books that I was reading, bookstores I want to visit, TBR lists for 2026, things like that. And it's just a fun place for me to play around in. I still have quite a few pages. And so this is coming into 2026 with me. It also has a pocket and it's also the Pen+Gear brand and it's adorable and I love it. Doesn't get a lot of use, but it's too cute not to have. So yes, where are we? Then, okay, this one's kind of silly too. We'll just get all the silliness out of the way. But this was is it Erin Condren? Yes, this one I got from a friend and it was just sitting in my drawer. And again, I had the creative itch to just have a journal, track all the things. And so I decided to make this a workout tracker. So let me do a proper flip. This is the Take a Note dot grid notebook. It gives you an index page. And so as you can see, I'm only on page 24 for 2025 and there are 120 pages, 21 pages. So we're going to be using this for quite a while if I continue doing workout trackers. I am kind of, I don't know, once I start something like this one, this is a great example. I started this as a food log, but then I had to rip it all out when it didn't work. I couldn't just leave the pages in there. And so like with my workouts, I was doing these workout plans, this Sydney Cummins Hundishell. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she's on YouTube and she has these playlists and she comes up with like YouTube workout programs. And I wanted to make sure I was doing them in the right order on the playlist and it was easier for me to just write it all out. And so this is where things kind of got crazy. So if I started it but then stopped, I would like have to restart. And so that's why like a lot of these are blank. I know it was crazy. And so then I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to write it all out. And if they don't happen, I'm not going to scratch it out. And that's kind of the motto I had. Unfortunately, I really fell off. Again, this year was just like super crazy, and I'm giving myself grace, but I did like having a space to actually like write things down and scratch them off, because I think that does something for you, that itches something in your brain to cross it off. I didn't even attempt to work out in November or December, so I need to update this. Maybe come up with a different plan so Thursday isn't so crazy looking. But anyways, this was just fun to dabble in, if you will. But yeah, still have quite a ways to go. So this will be coming into 2026 with me. All right, then we have the Write the Word journal from Cultivate What Matters. So this was a Christmas gift I received, and I really liked it. This was the Refresh Your Mind theme. They have all of these different like themes, or yeah, I guess a theme, like a overall theme. I keep saying that word, but to where the Bible verses kind of coincide with whatever you picked. So I did Refresh Your Mind. So a lot of the Bible verses focused on refreshing your mind. I used this from December until July, and I don't know how many days there are. I think it's 140. Let me see. 139 pages. Yeah. So a good chunk. What I found is that, again, I kind of have a lot going on when it comes to journaling. And so I'm in a pretty intense Bible study. I do the Bible study fellowship. And so this is a great supplement for like those summer months when we don't have BSF. I picked this up and really went to town on it, because you just have to write the day that it is, something that you're grateful for, and then you copy that verse. So Romans 12, 1-2, you just write it out, and then you can write out your prayers here, and then a word for the day. And it's super sweet, simple, to the point. And so I tried to do it while I was doing my BSF study, and it just got to be too much. And so this is great. This would be a great gift for anyone. Like I said, I did get another one for 2026. I think I got the anxiety theme or like topic. And so, yes, I would highly recommend this as a gift to anyone who likes to journal, who is a Christian, who wants to be in her Bible every day, and also have like some structure to it. Yeah. And they're really pretty. Sorry, I can't stop talking about this, but like on your shelf, I just think the gold accent scents would be so pretty. So anyways, that's enough about write the word. All right. This next journal I picked up in August. Again, that's kind of where I came across all the planners and journaling videos on YouTube, and I was so obsessed and had to test all the things, and I was using what I had, but I also needed a space to do this is where I did like daily journaling, and I did prompts in here because I wanted to see if I could keep up with the daily practice outside of my morning pages, because I was wanting a Hobonichi cousin, and spoiler alert, I got one for 2026. But this is by the brand OCS Designs. I don't know if you can see that, but I picked it up from TJ Maxx, and it was really good quality. I think it's like 176. Yeah, 176 pages, and it's pretty thick. It's nice, creamy, pretty thick pages. But I used this every day in August, and this will take me to the end of December. And yeah, one thing that I heard a lot whenever I was watching videos about starting journals is that people are intimidated to crack open a new journal, and like they're scared they're gonna ruin it. They're too precious with their stuff. And so a lot of girls recommended just like writing a quote down or like an intention on your first page to kind of break the ice, if you will. And so I just came across this quote. I don't know if I came across it on YouTube it was probably either Pinterest or Reddit. And I just liked it. And so, yeah, then I would just write my prompts here so that I could come back to them. And then, yeah, I would just journal one page a day. And it's been great. As you can see, I used a blue pen. And that's the funny thing about this, is that I took my kids to this event and they were giving out free Pentel Energel pens, and they were blue. And we got 2 of them. And I was like, you are definitely coming home with me. And I, whenever I came across this journal at TJ Maxx, I was like, oh my goodness, this is perfect. I can use my blue pen and my blue journal. And I was just over the moon about it. And I came home and I told my husband, and he just gave me a look. I mean, it's so silly, but that's like, it was just, those are the little things that I just think make it fun. But anyways, all right, then we have the Leuchttrum A5 dot grid notebook. Now I got this back in August as well. We went to the little craft place and I got this as a gift myself, and I really am glad I did, because again, this was a way for me to journal and try new things. I called it my creative journal, but it was just a place for me to get creative and see what it is that I liked. I did a lot of collaging in here. This was something I found off of Pinterest, and there's just something about like letting yourself try new things and be bad at them. Because like this really bothered me that it bled through. I like wrote it first and then did the marker, and it bled, and it really bothered me, but that's part of the trial and error, trying out to see what you like and what you don't like. I did like my monthly TBRs. I have therapy notes in here. This is kind of the spreads that I ended up doing. I tried like different book spreads in here. I did daily journaling. Okay, this is one that I actually really like. I don't know what's on these pages, but I loved this spread. I found these little birds in like a magazine, and I clipped them out and put them in here, and I loved the way that this came together. And so, yeah, like this is so silly, but I had so much fun. I'm pretty sure I was doing this. I cut out all the dog pictures that I could find in the magazines that I have, and I did this while I watched the finale of The Summer I Turned Pretty. And yeah, I would do recaps, the books that I read. I was gifted a like half-used Happy Planner sticker pad, and so that's what decorated my pages for a while. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun, a fun place to be. And so I'm still using it. This is where I'm at today. And so I still have about like 100 pages left. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to use it till the end of the year. So I have like probably a couple more to go, a couple more pages to go. And then I definitely want to continue using the pages. And so I might just continue it as a creative practice, or I might just do collages in it, but I don't know. So technically this will come into 2026 with me, but only for a short while, because that's where we're at. So the Leuchttrum hardcover A5. All right. Last but not least, if you are still sticking around, I love you. And yeah. Anyways, this was gifted to me. This is not something that I necessarily would buy for myself, but it came in handy. So this was a PaperBlanks notebook. I've never had PaperBlanks before, but I understand a lot of people love them. This has 240 lined pages, and it even comes with a pocket in the back. It's really pretty. I mean, it's really stunning. Like I said, it's not something I would necessarily buy for myself, but I'm glad that I have it. It's this really pretty creamy paper, and it is pretty thick paper too, I would say. This I'm not going to show any pages just because I'm currently using this as like a private prayer diary. I'm going through a devotional that kind of has some journaling prompts in it, and they have a lot of like good little tidbits that I want to remember, and so I'll write them down as well as my prayers. And yeah, so this will probably come into 2026 with me because I just started this in November, but I'm already a good chunk of the way done. So anyways, that is it. That is the stack of journals and planners that I used in 2025. Can we get this all stacked up? Let's see. Yeah, well, you can't really see, but yes, that is it. It was a fun year of trying new things, seeing what worked, what didn't work, and just experimenting. And I think that's what you have to do. You can watch all the YouTube videos you want and have all these plans, but until you yourself put pen to paper, you're not going to know what works for you. And so I encourage anyone out there to just do that. Use what you have, put pen to paper, and see what works. I hope this was entertaining for you. I hope you learned something. Leave me a comment if you have any questions about the journals I'm using, and stick around because I plan on doing a 2026 planner and journal lineup. And so I hope to see you guys there. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching this, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.